Hi, I'm Ed Frame, founder of Exemplify, and here to show you how you can turn your current customers into brand advocates in just 7 simple steps. The problem is that most businesses are wasting money. When sales dry up, most companies invest money back into the top of their sales funnel. They dial up their ad spend, create heavy discounts, and make big promises only to see customers come and go through a revolving door. However, research shows that it costs 5 times more to win a customer than to retain one. It's 4 times easier to sell to an existing customer than new ones. And if you increase the customer retention rate by just 5%, you can increase profits from anywhere between 25 and 95%. Exemplify exists to help business owners grow their businesses by turning customers into referring brand advocates. Through these videos, I'm going to show you the overlooked emotions that customers have when making a purchase, what customers are needing from your product and service, how to turn customers into repeat buyers, and how to turn customers into brand advocates. We've made retaining customers simple by breaking down a customer retention funnel into 7 easy to implement phases. We're going to start with how to help customers at their most emotional point, and specifically looking at phases 1 and 2 of the customer longevity funnel. The first thing you need to understand is that your customers have a problem. There is an external problem with internal emotions that customers have that they cannot solve without your product. All of your marketing and sales was done to help prospects trust your business and that your solution is going to help them solve their problem. You spend all this money, time, resources to convince prospect that your solution is the best, that it's more valuable than your competitors, and it offers something more substantial. The second thing you need to know is the emotions that your customers have when making a purchase. Your prospect finally says, yes, I'm committing to this. Money changes hands and there's a rush of excitement, there's eagerness. Finally, my problems are going to disappear and I'm going to be able to get on with my life. But then all of a sudden, all the trust that's been built, all the convincing that you've done, but there's a moment of doubt. Is this going to solve my problem? Could I have gotten this cheaper? Am I going to feel how I imagined I would? Through no fault of your own, your customer has now experienced buyer's remorse. And most companies at this moment do very little to tackle this real emotional dip. A real example of this is when you've purchased a service. You've poured your needs out to a sales rep, you've signed a contract, and now you're being introduced to somebody completely new and you're unsure if they're going to be able to solve your problems in the same way that the sales rep promised you. There's perhaps promises that were made that you haven't seen come to light yet. There are a few products and services where there's no time in between purchasing and proceeding. And when we make a purchase, we have to wait before we get started. And the world we live in today does not like to wait. This is the reason why Amazon is shipping items in less than a few hours, to make that waiting time as small as possible. The less time between purchase and getting the item, the less time I have to regret my decision. Whenever somebody makes a purchase, it's crucial that they receive affirmation that they've made the right decision. Here are 4 things that you can do to eliminate buyer's remorse for your customers. Number 1, remind customers of other people's successes. Send them your case studies, send them your testimonials. Remind customers of why they made that decision in the first place. Remind them of other people who have had that same problem and solved it with the solution that they're about to receive. Number 2, show your customer that you are working to solve their problem. Use confirmations, internal handover updates. Just keep them in the loop with what's going on. Far too often we sign a contract and then eventually we get invited to a kickoff call. And although as a business you're doing so much behind the scenes, making sure that everything's good to go, as a customer, we're not really receiving anything at this point. If anything, it's really quiet. We might start to wonder, are they actually doing any work? What are they actually focusing on? Just take some time to actually update your customers on what's going on, even if they're not required at this particular phase. Number 3, prepare them. Give your customers tasks and get them ready for when their product or service does officially commence. Airlines are a really good example of this. Very rarely am I booking an airline ticket on the day. I'm doing my research and then booking my flight, and then it's really a couple of weeks or maybe even months before I'm actually getting on that flight. In the meantime, this is a great opportunity for airlines to let me know what's required. How much time is going to be needed at the airport before I check in? What documentation do I need now that we live in a post-COVID world? How much time do I need left on my passport? These are some really simple things to make sure that my flight is a frictionless experience, that it's really straightforward, and I'm not going to have any stresses on the day. And number 4, let your customers know the next steps. What's the roadmap for my problem being solved? What can I expect later down the line? If I've got a vague plan of how you're going to take me from where I am now to where I want to be, it's really helpful for a customer to be able to see what that outcome is going to look like. For example, when can I expect my product to arrive? When can I expect a handover call? When can I expect X, Y, and Z, and so forth? Once you've helped mitigate buyer's remorse and continued to build trust with your new prospect, now you're ready to start solving their problem. With the re-enabled trust in your brand, the customer is more likely to be engaged by your solution. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about why creating a first impression is one of the most important parts of your customer experience, what you can do to help your customers during the process of achieving their desired outcome, and how to celebrate their successes. Join me in the next video and I'll see you there.